Today I'm at Indian Island County Park in Jefferson County, Washington. The water behind me is either called Portage Canal, Port Townsend Ship Canal, or sometimes I've heard it referred to as the Government Cut. It's only about 1,500 meters long. It connects on my left Port Townsend Bay and on my right Oak Bay. It's known to be a good place for sea run cutthroat. I haven't caught that many here myself, but the ones I've caught have been pretty big. The current during the tidal changes here is pretty swift, and that probably holds some of the fish. We're about 3 hours away from low tide now. I'm going to fish down to the low tide and then the change of tide and see what my luck brings. At the moment I'm fishing chartreuse and white Clouser minnow on a full intermediate line, and as you can probably see, the current is pretty impressive. It's like being in a river, and so I'm basically just fishing downstream a little bit and letting the current kind of present the fly. Just retrieving in very small little strips. Let the fly hang up in the current. See all kinds of boils in the water down there. Haven't seen any fish yet. So this is a brand new rod and reel for me. This is the Temple Fork Outfitters Axiom II 9-foot 6-weight, coupled with their BVK, I think it is, seal drag reel. I really like it, and what I've got for a line is Scientific Angler's Sonar Titan. Normally I fish Rio lines. I thought I'd give this other one a go, and again, really excellent. It seems to be limper, the running line at any rate, seems to be limper than the Rio line, which I like. So right now there are masses of bits of weed floating down with the current just below the surface, and I'm picking it up on my fly pretty much every cast, so I might have to change to a topwater fly here for a while anyway. So on account of all that weed, I have changed over to a topwater fly, my other rod, which has a floating line on it. And the fly I'm using at the moment is one of my own design called the Tiger Squid. I don't know if you can see it down there, but it's tied on a tube, and I've had a lot of success with it. It's very buoyant, so I'm going to give that a go for a while and then maybe change up to something else. I really didn't want to fish topwater flies today, but until this weed goes, I have no choice. So I'm just basically letting it swing in the current, and again just stripping it enough to make a consistent wake. I have to say, I've not seen any fish at all on the surface yet, jumping or tailing, which to me is a bit of a bad sign. Maybe there aren't any fish here today. So that awful weed has kind of dissipated a little bit, so I feel that I can go back to my intermediate line and a sinking fly as we head towards low tide. So I've taken off the Lamson minnow and I'm using a marmot-based squid, this little guy. See how we do with that. So now the tide has dropped a little bit. I've moved to the rock jetty that is at the southern end of the canal. The wading here is really pretty sketchy, so I have to be careful. But when I have been successful here, this is where I've caught most of the fish from. Well, I'm going to make one more change of fly. I think the reason I'm not catching is because there aren't any fish here, rather than not using the right fly. But I guess it's psychologically it helps to think that you're doing something positive. So I'm going to put on a squimp. It's one of my favorites. We'll see if that will elicit a bite or something. Current has reversed itself, so now it's going from my right to the left. See by just looking at my line there. I think that's going to be my last cast for the day. I've seen absolutely no sign of any fish, which tells me it's probably futile to keep going. I'm getting tired, so I think I'm going to call it. Well, that's it. You can't win them all. What can I say? Just totally skunked. Not even a bite to show you. So kind of disappointing, but nonetheless, I had a great time. And I'll be back later in the year and hopefully do a bit better. So until then, tight lines.